on example 5, we're going to divide. We still have to factor first, okay? If we can factor, we have to factor. Now let's go back and review your rules that you learned probably in middle school when you're dividing fractions, okay? Remember the rules. Let me type these down at the bottom. Usually you guys learn keep it, change it, flip it. So keep it, change it, flip it. And what that means is keep the first fraction the way it is, change division. Here, let me just put this up here under this one. Move this down a little bit. Keep the first fraction the way it is, right? Change the division to multiplication and flip the second fraction. So we're going to keep it, change it, flip it. Okay. Now, I can't factor anything on these because there's no plus or minus signs. This will not be factored. So we're just going to keep it, 2z over 9, change it to multiplication, and flip the second one. And then we're going to do what we learned in the last example. Okay, we're going to cancel up and down if we can. I can't cancel anything here. I can't cancel anything here. So now we're going to go across. 9 goes into 9 one time. 9 goes into 18 twice. So we can do that. 2 and 5 don't have anything in common, but I have 1z here and 2 there. So this one will cancel and leave me with 1 on the bottom. So let's look at what we have left. On top, we have a 2 times 2, so that's 4. On bottom, 1 times 5 gives me 5, and I have that 1z left on bottom. So the answer would be 4 over 5z. Let's do another one. On this one, I can't factor again, okay? This isn't in the new edition. It's in the old one, though, and it's a good example. I can't factor anything. There's no plus or minus. So I'm going to keep it and make this m squared pq cubed over mp to the 4th. I'm going to change it to multiplication, and I flip this one. Make it mp q squared over m to the 5th, p to the 2nd, and q. So let's do cross-canceling first on this one. I think it might work out a little bit better. So let's cross-cancel. So let's see. If I have an m here and an m here, that's going to go. I have 1p here and 4 there. So that's going to change that to p to the 3rd. I don't have any q's, that won't cancel. Let's look this way. I have 2 m's here and 5 there. So that's going to cancel and leave me with 3 on bottom. I have 1p here, 2 there. So this one's going to go away, and it's going to leave me with 1 there. I have 3 q's on top, 1 q on bottom. So that q is going to cancel and leave me with 2 on top. You're always going to be left with, if there's more on top, you have some left on top. If there's more on bottom, you have some left on bottom. Now let's see, can we do anything up and down now? Nope, it looks like we're done. Let's see. So on top, we have q squared, that's q to the 4th is left on top. On the bottom, we have p cubed and p to the 1st, so that's p to the 4th. And we have an m cubed. I probably should have written the m cubed first, so it'd be alphabetical, but it doesn't matter. So on top, we had q to the 4th, and on bottom, p to the 4th and m cubed. And that's it. Let's try a couple more on the next page. So on the next page, all right, factor first. We got to factor first. So let's take this. We can take an 8 out. And then I'm going to have 8 times k. Oops, let me fix that. I'm going to take an 8 out. 8k divided by 8 is just k. Minus 16 divided by 8 is 2 over 3k. Can't factor that, right? Not a plus sign, no squares. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's see, change it to times. So the 4k squared is going to the top. and this is going to the bottom. I can take out a 3. 3k divided by 3 is k, minus 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we did keep it, change it, flip it. And I was looking at something back there. Okay, so now let's see what we got. All right, so let's go across first. This k minus 2 is going to go. 8 and 3 have nothing in common. Let's look this way. 3 and 4 don't have anything in common, but I've got 1k here and 2 there. So this one's going to cancel and leave me with just 1 on top. Now let's look up and down. Nope. Nothing cancels up and down. So on top, 8 times 4k is 32k. And on bottom, 3 times 3 is 9. So your final answer is 32k over 9. One more. So on this one, factor the top. That's going to factor into 5m minus 3 times m plus 4. Double check and make sure I did that right. That gives me negative 12 on the end, negative 3m, positive 20. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so on the bottom, that's going to factor into 3m minus 5 times m plus 4. Let me double check that one. Gives me 12 minus 5, which is 7. So that did work. Change it to times. We're going to move this one to the top. Okay, so that's going to be 5m minus 3. We're flipping this one, so I'm working on this 15m squared here. Times 3m minus 5. Let me check that one. That gives me negative 9, negative 25. Yes, that's going to work. Now let's do the 5m squared one on bottom. So we know we need 5m times m. It's going to be 5m minus 3 times m plus 1. Let me double check that. 5 minus 3 is 2. Yes, that's going to work. So now that we have everything factored finally, we can cancel. So let's start doing up and down because I noticed that's going to cancel. And over here on this side, that's going to cancel. Now let's try across. That doesn't, but from here to here, that cancels. So all I have left is 5m minus 3 on top and m plus 1 on bottom. So just remember, factor first, then do keep it, change it, flip it, and it will be just like example 4.